Hi! On our last video we sewed the elastic for the waist of our pajama pants to the size we wanted it. We've got 2 vertical rows of stitching with plenty of back stitching there. Now we're going to close up this hole we had to put the elastic in, and then our waistband will be done. So we take this and we make sure that it's in, under, and then we're going to stretch this. So when we don't stretch it, it's all gappy like that. We don't want to sew with it like that. We're going to sew with it stretched so that we're getting a nice even casing, and then that should do it. So we're going to sew with our 1/4 inch seam allowance using the presser foot. We're going to try not to sew the elastic, so that's going to be up towards the top of the casing. And like I said, we're going to stretch it, and we'll do back stitch at both ends, and that should be it. We'll start a little bit on top of the previous stitching so there are no holes. I have one hand in front and one hand in back. Okay, now I have to use my hand for the back stitching. You just need to back stitch a couple stitches. 3 is good. Okay, now I've got my hands on both sides and I am stretching it as I sew. I'm doing a scant 1/4 inch just to make sure I'm not catching that elastic. I'll stop and reposition a little bit, getting a little too small on my seam allowance. Make sure that these are down when I get to my seam, if you are close to a seam. For the most part they should be because of that stitching we did to keep them open. Almost done. Try and match up with your previous seam if you can. A little back stitching. And that should be done. There we go. So that's all sewn up. And then we can distribute the gathers the way we like. That's done. Now if you're making these for a small child, or if you sometimes can't tell the front from the back of your clothing, if you're in a hurry, you can find the back and sew an X over it, or take a little patch of a different color fabric and sew that over it to make kind of a tag so you know where the back is.